Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Leopard Prototyp A. In fact, it's two Leopard Prototyp A's because one of them belongs to SlyMeerkat and the other one belongs to Omen Enraged, and they're in a platoon together. Well, you've seen Sly in the Leopard Prototype before. It's a Tier 9 German medium tank, and it's located on the west spawn of Sand River Encounter. Game started. And he's got somebody as his commander, somebody special. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm sure he'll let us know afterwards. Now you can see both of these tanks have got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, so they obviously know how to play them. As you know, the Leopard Prototype was the first version of the German European tank. Second one being the Leopard itself, the Leopard 1. I say universal tank actually more than anything else, and these enemy are going to have a go at him as he crosses over. Oh, he was lucky though, he got away with it. Owen Enraged stayed behind to pump a couple of rounds over in that direction. Now he's got a 105mm gun capable of doing 420 alpha, and it'll penetrate 278mm with standard ammo. With APCR it will go through, was it 323. So he does punch a lot of, packs a lot of punch, but remember this tank does not have much in the way of armour. The strongest armour is actually at the front of the hull with 70mm, which means just about every shot the enemy fires at you is probably going to pen, unless of course you can angle well enough, or you shoot from long enough range away so they can't hit you. So it's not a brawling tank as such, it's more of a long-range sniper. But it's a very good sniper, very accurate, incredibly accurate. Look at that, lovely shot. TNH got in the way there, but he managed to pull back without getting hit. So he's got the first shot on the enemy. On target, rather. And I think he's going to be rather cheeky, because he's going to actually pull around and try and get shots on these guys further up the cliff. But he might be in danger from the tanks to his right, so he does need to be careful. Okay, who's going to be the first one? A phase 1. Sniper accurate, right through the lower plate. 431, which is a high roll. He's laying the law down on those guys to say, yeah, you're going to take some damage. Owen Enraged is sitting back a little further behind. He's actually in the second gully. And I think, yes, Sly's decided to pull back because he is better off as a sniper from longer way away. And if they can tempt the enemy to come round, they might be able to get a lot of damage. And now he's into a position where he can get shots on that Centurion 5-1, which of course, you know, is the Australian Centurion. Lovely shot right through the roof of the T-34, which of course is their weak spot, the roof of the tank. It's a very underestimated tank, the T-34, because it is normally quite strong, and it does have a nice 120mm tank gun, and of course it's a premium tank. But the problem is that it does have that roof weak spot, which you can penetrate if you can angle the shot to hit the top of the roof. Goes in through that cupola. He's angled for another shot on the T-34. He couldn't feather it in this time, so that shot was a miss. He's using the APCR as well. Oh, now he's got shots on the KV-4 up to the north. Trying to get the gun depression into play. It's 8 degrees of gun depression. Didn't pen the KV-4, but his Omen Enraged did. And it looks like he got a high roll. No, it's such a narrow target, that cupola on top of the KV-4. The enemy has broken through, and Omen Enraged gets another shot on them. Good shot there, nice shot, but it's a low roll on the Type 59 Gold. He's changing dunes again. Again, this is a good tactic because this tank is a sniper. And the further away he is, the less likely the enemy's going to get shots, and the more likely he's going to get a pen on them because he's so accurate. Oh, now he did take a round there from the Type 59 Gold. You can see that gold monster up there in the distance, but he's just been taken out by the TNH 105. He gets a nice shot instead into the A phase 1, but it's a low roll, only by 3 hit points. And there goes the kill shot coming in from the TNH 105 1000. Okay, so he's now trying to get to a position where he can do some damage to that T-34. The enemy's losing only by 1 at the moment. Omen Enraged is sitting at the back for the moment. Okay, can he get a shot on that T-34? No. He might be able to go around the wreck. Round the other side, round the other side. I was referring to a song, that one. Yes, he might be able to go around him, but oh, he's going to be cheeky. He's going to come around the front way. Uh-oh, Indian Panzer. That is an AFK, and he did get clobbered by the 120mm gun. It was a high roll, but this time round, that guy's in reload, and that's a kill shot right through his front plate. Easy pen. The Indian Panzer is an AFK. He just needs to get himself to a position. That's it. Nice hit. Low roll again, 399. The kill shot comes in from the T-95. He's out the game. The enemy is now focusing on the back of the cap area. They do have one Waffenträger Panzer IV near their cap area. Their spawn area, rather, I should say. He's probably up on the heights over there, so we don't really want to go up here. Let the T-95 find the enemy Waffenträger. And oh, they found a Scorpion instead, so he's going long range to put a shot into him. Yes! He gets a pen, the high roll, 437, but he was seen by the Waffenträger. He's dropping down because the guy's looking at him. Might be looking at him or the T-95. He's going to quickly pop up. Tries to snap a shot into the Waffenträger. Couldn't get it in, but the Waffenträger's kind of disabled because he's not able to do any damage whilst he's behind the rock. And that's a hit on the front of his vehicle, which he didn't realise was exposed. So we're going to dash off to get a reset on the cap. And it looks like Sly has now got enough for the high caliber, 20% of the enemy hit pool. Now, it looks like Omen Enraged is going to try and capture or kill that Waffenträger. And in the meantime, Sly is going to try and get a reset. And if he can, deal with the enemy tanks, the Lancer C and the M4190, the Black Dog, who are way in the back of the zoo, back in the dunes. Now, oh, I don't think he meant to do that. I think he meant to come around this way. But look at this. Found the E-75, plumps around right into his rear, which I don't think the E-75 would be too happy about that. Because he's now been made a one-shot. Oh, now we know where the enemy is. It's the Wizzy 1G, and he's reset him. Yep, that was a good shot because now he doesn't have to go and get the reset. He's got more time to wait. Remember, it's an encounter, longer capping time. He can deal with the E-75 before he deals with the Wizzy 111. Okay, the T-95's gone down into the riverbed. The E-75's going to be focusing on him for the moment. And this is the time that he can dash down and quickly take the kill. The enemy GW Tiger P just took a hit. I'd go for it now because the E-75's got more on his plate than he can handle. He's about to get rogered by a T-95 and he won't be happy about that. So he'll be very defensive, and he has actually gone. You see, he could have snapped the kill there, and he would have got the kill off the E-75, snapped it away from the T-95, but he was totally distracted, that E-75. Okay, we know that there's a Lancer C above the heights above our spawn area. Now, he might be looking this way, but I think it's more likely he's concerned about that Waffenträger, and we can see him now because proximity detects. So we might be able to get around into him. If he gets close enough to the Waffenträger, I think we could. He's just hiding behind the rock at the moment. Omen Enraged is going around the rear to try and get a shot on the Wizzy. Or is he going to try and go for the heights? He's actually after the Wizzy. And a nice kill shot on the Lancer C for Sly. Makes his now 3 kills for him. And there's the Wizzy. Can we get a shot? Omen Enraged did get a hit, and now I think Sly's going to go for the kill shot. Yes, he gets it. That's 3 kills. The Black Dog managed to get down from the other side, but he's now facing a Borsig, and he's running now because he's the last one alive on the enemy team. He's got virtually no hit points left. Sly's going to stay here and see if he can get a quick shot as the guy goes past. The Borsig's gone down into the dip to try and cut him off. And it looks like the Black Dog's turned around and is actually headed back up to the top. Oh, be careful. You can't go over that height. He's trying to use the rock to hide behind. But I don't think the Black Dog's going to come out from behind. Omen Rage is going in one side. There he is. Okay, it looks like he might try to run away. Remember, he's one of the fastest outs. Oh no, he's actually trapped in that lower area, and he kills Omen and Rage, but Omen and Rage kills him. So exchange of fire, and the game is over. Okay, here's the end of battle stats for the first game. Yes, this is 1 of 3. It's a long one, this video. He managed to get an ace tanker in that game, SlyMeerkat, and the Leopard Prototyp A. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. He also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. He did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And let's have a look at the team scores and see where he stood. Well, he's top of the damage when it comes to hit points. He got 6,182. The next high scorer being Omen in Rage with 4,168. Both of them were playing the Leopard very well indeed. The third highest damage in that game actually went to the E75. Now, that kill would have belonged to Sly if he just rushed down the slope. Instead, he stayed up because he wanted to get a shot on the Leopard, on the Lansing Sea instead. I think he might have been able to get the E75, then turn around, go up the slope and kill the Lansing Sea very easily, but I think he just didn't want to miss that Lansing. Anyway, when it comes to kills, it was in fact the Lansing Sea who got the most. He got 4 kills in that game, then the T95, then the TNH 105 1000. Sly got 3 kills, which puts him in second place. It was joint first place for these 3, but I suppose you might say second place here because these are all joint first. And 2 kills went to Omen and Rage. And in fact, it was only Sly and Omen and Rage who didn't get 4 kills or 1 kill or nothing. The other 3 clocked the top. Well, when it came to base XP, Sly was right at the top with 1,318, and then Omen and Rage was second with 1,075. The third highest was that T95, got 1,020 XP. So these are the 3 top players with over 1,000 XP each. Sly fired 24 shots, got 16 direct hits on the enemy, 15 penetrations. He was doing a lot of long-range shooting, and that's why you expect to get some misses, because obviously every now and then you're going to fire at a target which pulls back just in time to avoid the shot. 6,182 hit points, of which 2,546 were at more than 300 meters, so nearly half, not quite half the damage he did was at long range. 3 hits received, all 3 penetrations. Well, I did say the armour is fairly weak and that the strongest armour was on the hull at the front. Yeah, just about anything that hits the Leopard Prototyp A is more than likely going to pen. 5 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed and 1,105 hit points of damage assistance. And he managed to get 60 defence points when he reset the cap, so he didn't quite get enough to get a Defender medal, but he was very close. He earned 56,534 credits on this game, but he did fire a lot of premium ammo, mostly to try and get the pen on heavily armed tanks at long range, and as a consequence he made a small loss on this game of 10,187 credits. 1,318 XP, 297 for playing in the platoon, took away 2,274 experience points altogether. So both players, both Omen in Rage and Sly, had a really good game. They both scored the first and second highest damage in the game with their Leopards. It just goes to show it's a really good sniper tank, and they both ended up with the first and second highest base XP. So that was the end of the first game. Let's have a look at the second game. Here's the second game, and this time round we've got SlyMeerkat in the Leopard Prototyp A, and Omen Rage has switched to the Object Travel 7 version 2. Game started. Well, they're both in tier 7, tier 9 tanks. The Object Travel 7, of course, is the reward Russian heavy tank, whilst the Leopard Prototyp A is, of course, the German medium that was supposed to be the universal tank for the from the Germans, and it didn't get accepted as such. It was good prototype though. Okay, we make room for the M445 to go through. Take a quick look, pull back, and ricochets off the top of the UDES. Now that was annoying. But we're going to get a shot on the Carnarvon, I think, in a second. Oh, and the Progetto drives in front of us, so we have to avoid shooting him, otherwise we would lose any chance of getting a high caliber. And Sly is good enough that he could get a high caliber. Ah, that's better. Chi-Ri takes a round for 443, which is a high roll. Owen and Rage is dived in after the enemy. Now remember, he's in a very difficult to pen Soviet heavy tank, which the Royal tank with very strong turret armor. Nice shot on the Chi-Ri, high roll, 470. That's a big high roll, that one. Missed the chance on the Carnarvon. So he's going to go for the Stuart. They can't see the Stuart, but he can definitely see the Carnarvon. This time round he puts around him, but he gets a low roll. He's double bushing every time he pulls back. That's why he's not getting spotted. But this time round he's decided he is going to go in and help Owen and Rage. He's in trouble. He has actually taken a few shots. He's trying to get a good shot on the UDES, but he couldn't get it straight off. But he's going to go round behind the UDES. And round the outside, he gets a hit. Yeah, I keep referring back to that song. I really shouldn't. Okay, Chi-Ri did the sneaky shot into us when we went into the dip. We're now going to try and take out the... Oh, that was Arty. But the Chi-Ri dies and Sly takes the kill. Okay, can we get a shot on those enemy tank destroyers? We've got a Stuart Mill over there. That's an easy kill. So that's 3 kills now for Sly. Okay, Owen and Rage came out of the dip, but he's lost a lot of hit points. We can get a shot on this guy here. Thank you. TNH takes 470. We're going to sneak around this corner, put another one into him just when he goes around the corner. Hello. He takes another hit, but it's a low roll, 379, and Sly got hit as well for 430 from a 122. Another round into the TNH. He's a one-shot. Now we could let Owen and Rage take the kill. I think he might be able to do so if he can come out. Oh, and the kill does go to the IKV-90B on our team. Okay, the IS-2S did take a hit for 399. He's out the game now because he took a hit from, well, was that Owen and Rage? Oh, we got hit by the TNH, but we put a round back into him. And the T95 is going to be the next one. He's either going to get hit in the rear or he's going to get hit in the front. He's got to choose which way he wants to get ended out of the game and back into the garage. Sly's going to take every hit point he's got available because he needs the damage for his ace. He gets him. Oh, takes another hit from that IKV-90B, the 90mm gun. And he can't afford to stay up too long because he's down to 62 hit points now, which means he's a one-shot for that IKV. He's already got 4,801 hit points. The IKV's still up there. And I think Sly wants revenge on him. Can't see him. Just... Oh, what a shot! Very accurate. 314 hit points, all he had left. Got the kill and got a top gun. There's only one enemy remaining. It's their EBR Hotchkiss. He's on the reverse slope, trying to come down to his own cap area, and Sly can get to him. He's racing to get as much damage as he can, claim that last kill, but he is a one-shot, and both the EBR is as well. Is the EBR going to be killed before we get there? He's just around the corner. This is it. Hello. Yes, kill shots. He got it. Slice to a halt inside the cap area with his gun up after taking a battering. Here's the end of battle stats, and I did say this hour was 3 hours to the minute after the game on Sand River. It's an ace tanker for SlyMeerkat in the Leopard Prototyp A. He also managed to get a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemies, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 11, a Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a Fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. He got a high caliber in that game for dealing the most damage in the game, and he also got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended on 7 at the end of the game, just one short of getting a Radley's. Couldn't get any more because there was none left, but he was on bare minimum hit points. It was either going to be him or the EBR Hotchkiss who died at the end of that game, and he damn well sure was going to make sure it wasn't him that died, and he did take the guy out with a lot of aplomb by actually firing the shot in, killing him, and then sliding to a halt in the cap area. Very well done indeed. So let's have a look at the team scores and see where he came. Well, on damage, he came tops again, 5,125 hit points. The next high scorer being Omen Enraged with the Object 777-2, 2,859 hit points. The third highest damage was the enemy TNH T-Viz 51, 1,831 to him. When it came to kills, it's Sly again. He got 7 kills from that game. 3 kills went to the IKV-90B on his own team. 2 kills went to the ILC Ever 90. I'm afraid in this game, Omen Enraged didn't get any kills at all in his Object 777 version 2, but he was mixing it with the enemy up close and personal. He did get a lot of damage, even though he didn't get any kills. And I think you can see from the amount of damage that SlyMeerkat took in that game that you can't really mix it very easily with the Leopard and come away scot-free, because it's very weak armour. When it came to base XP, he's got the top on that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns in this one. 1,394 base experience points. 970 went to the Wizzy 131. 869 went to Omen Enraged in his Object 777 version 2. Sly fired 21 rounds in this game, 19 direct hits, 16 penetration. He's getting much better, more accurate. 5,125 hit points of damage, of which 314 were at more than 300 meters. So I suppose the most accurate shot was that very long range shot where a very narrow aim on the IKV-90B. I'm sure that Sly wanted to get revenge on that guy for plonking that round into him and then leaving him on virtually no hit points whatsoever. The guy was retreating, so it was a case of will he, won't he get a shot into the guy's rear as he was pulling away. But he did get him, and it was a very difficult shot indeed. He received 6 hits from the enemy, 5 of them penetrated. Yeah, I did say weak armor, so this thing is fairly dangerous to you mix it with the enemy up close. He also took 1 hit by way of splash damage as well, and that did a considerable amount of damage. That was the M12 fired around into him while he was in the dip. It was a good shot actually from the M12. It's the sort of shot that I would actually take pride in doing myself, where it actually loops into that little dip and hits the enemy tank square on. It actually landed right on top of his turret. He spotted 4 enemy vehicles, damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 7, and did 480 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 7 capture points when he slid to a halt in the cap area. 47,407 credits from the game, 35,556 from personal reserves, 21,333 from battle payments, a grand total of 135,111 credits, but he did fire a lot of premium ammo in this game, and his ammunition costs, well, look at that, yeah, it's very high. And he actually made a small loss of only 1,522 credits, but the one thing he did do was a huge amount of damage. As you know, if you're going to get your marks in this tank, you need to do a lot of damage and you need to be consistent about it, and that's exactly what Sly was doing. He was being very consistent. 1,394 XP, 314 for playing in the platoon with Omen Enraged, who must be enjoying these games because after all he gets to be on the winning team. 2,405 experience points altogether, so yet another ace tanker for SlyMeerkat. He's getting the hang of this Leopard prototype now. Let's have a look at the third game and see how he gets on in that one. This game also took place same day, 4th of November, a little later on. Let's see how he gets on. Third replay in our series, and this time round Omen Enraged is in the Object 777 version 2 as before, and Sly is in his Leopard Prototyp A. Game's on. Now, as before, he's trying to earn as much damage as he can, as he means it. He wants to get his 3rd mark of excellence, and the only way you can do that is by getting huge amounts of damage on the enemy and being consistent. Okay, we can see that Omen Enraged is behind him to his right, and he's moving up to the bush where you can get early spotting on the enemy going out to the centre and intercept any enemy tanks who are actually coming around the outside of the battlements. No enemies come up, and the Object 430's moved into a position. Unfortunately, the Chance Future just took a hit from the enemy, and I think that was their Object 263. You can just see in the distance. Omen Enraged is getting hits on him. So it means they are playing kind of defensively, and in this sort of battle, remember, he can't afford to mix it too heavily with the enemy because it's got no armor really. The Leopard Prototype, it's very light on armor. It's more of a sniper tank than a brawler. But if you can pop in there, get a quick shot and then pull back out again, then it can be great fun. Now the 430U comes up behind, blocks the CS-59. He's not going to be too happy about that, but he didn't take any damage in the process. And we can see from the way that Sly's using the long overall observation method of actually pulling back and seeing what's going on, gives him a good clear perspective of where the enemy tanks are located, so he can work out where he needs to attack in order to get shots on them. Okay, so he's going to snipe from this mound a little further back, and if he doesn't get any damage from here, he'll actually move back to another spot to try and snipe at the enemy from as far back as he can and get good hits on them without them being able to return fire. Okay, again, he's rethinking where he's going to do this from. Siegfried Line is one of those battles where you either play defensive, you could be too aggressive, you could end up losing hit points. He tries to snapshot on the Kunstpanzer, just narrowly misses it, but the Kunstpanzer wasn't very quick to get through there, and I think he's come back for some more. If he does back up a bit more, we might get up around him. I think he was actually trying to get a shot at Sly there, and Sly's indicating him to Arty to say, hit that guy. Oh, he does get a hit this time, and he gets a high roll for 429. Yeah, I think that Kunstpanzer underestimated how accurate Sly could be at this long range away. And notice how Sly's in a position where he can move quickly to move away, get behind cover if he needs to. The enemy's out in the open, the E50's out in the open, the Object 430. His round bounced off the top of the E50. And it's a good sniper position from here. 430 takes a hit, but it's a low roll for 390. Unfortunately, we did lose Omen and Rage during the actions when we were looking elsewhere. Didn't see who got him. Of course, we can analyse that at the end of the game. At the moment, all we want to see is lots and lots of damage from Sly. And he gets a hit into the Object 257. It's a low roll, 407. He's now in a position to hit that T10 if he goes past the gap. He can still hit the Object 140, and this time round he gets a critical hit, and 516 I think as well. That ricocheted off, and the 140 is down. No, can he get another shot into those two guys? There's a T54 and an Object 257. They're sitting on the corner. Oh, the 257 takes a big hit for 468, a high roll. Sly's moving up to get more accurate shots on the enemy. He's now going to use the gun depression here. Remember, 8 degrees of gun depression. He's knocking down a few trees to give him a bit of better accuracy without being seen. Can he get a shot to the 257? Just hit the top of the turret if he's lucky. He decided not to shoot. He's using nothing but APCRs. You know, more damage you can do, the more likely you're going to get your marks, and you only can do that normally if you do punch a lot of premium ammo. The 257 was taken out by our 705A, and Sly is now moving around the corner, and he's got a shot on the T54. I don't think he... Oh, he does see him, but he pumps around into the T54. He's low enough to be below the guy's gun depression. Remember, that tank does not have good gun depression, whereas Sly does. So he's got the advantage here. The T54 has pulled back behind that building. Okay, Sly is now going to try and use this position to get behind the T55, and he might be able to get some shots on the enemies. There's IS-4 to his left. Hello. Yep, he takes a round. The T54 pulled back a long way behind the building there, the arch. Can we go for another shot? This time on the E50. He takes a hit for 427, which is another high roll. Go for the IS-4. Goes for the good shot. Yes, he gets it in. 398. The T-54 is frightened of coming out. But he's going to have to come out now because Sly is chasing him around the arch. Hello, Mr. T-54. Do you like it inserted? Yes. 429. The T-54 thinks, no, I'm not standing for that. And he's trying to get at Sly. Not going to work. Oh, he took a round in the tracks. Now he needs to get behind this T-54 and pump another one into his rear. And it's a kill shot. Nicely done. That's his first kill of the game, surprisingly. But he has got a lot of damage. 4,420. The game is going his way. The enemy's down to just 3 tanks now. They were at one point doing very nicely. But this Gorilla's about to get hit. He gets a 412 hit points hit. Doesn't really need APCR to go through a Gorilla 15. But as you know, he's trying to maximize damage. Here comes the Arty. Yep, that hurt. That was a stun. He didn't lose any hit points to the Arty shot, but the Arty's a 212A. He's out in the field. We know where he is. We can get him later. Gorilla. He takes a hit for 418. Now, I think actually the mods are screwed up here because it was showing he was still reloading, but he actually fired. And he gets that hit into the Gorilla as well. He's now got 20% of the enemy hit pool. Might be a high caliber. Probably is. That Gorilla, that shot missed. Arty's trying, but not getting us. That was a hit. That was a really big hit. 359. The Gorilla's out of the game, taken out by the Future 4. We're now after the Arty, the 212A. He's way out in the corner. It's going to be the first come, first served. Eat all you can buffet on the 212A. Try to avoid the Dragon's Teeth if you can. There he is. Now, his teammates have now spotted him, but get close because you need the hit points. Not a lot the 212A can do. Hello. He's out. And that's 2 kills for Sly, but a huge amount of damage. And was that enough? We'll see. Guns up. Well, here's the end of battle results, and yes, he managed to do it. He got his 3rd mark of excellence on that game. Only a first class tanker, but it was the 3rd mark game because he kept up consistent damage on the enemy. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. A 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks taken down by his other teammates. And he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game in that battle. And he did a lot of damage at long range as well. Let's have a look at the team score. Oh, we can see straight off that battle was 1 hour and 8 minutes after the last one. So you can see it was a very clear, close, tight series of battles, one after the other to get it 3rd marked. Anyway, let's have a look at team score. Sly scored the highest damage with 6,069 hit points. The next high scorer was the 60 TP Lewandowski Go on the enemy team, 5,650 hit points. And the 3rd highest damage turned out to be the Object 705 with 3,436. Now in this battle, Omen Enraged did get taken out. He only managed to get 886 out of the game. He didn't get any kills. And in the end, he was taken out by Springton 2S, which, if I look down the list, happens to be their top scorer. Yes, the 60 TP. So he was taken out by monstered by a 60 TP. So yes, they are. That's fairly good because the 60 TP is a tier 10. He was a tier 9. He got taken out by a much bigger gun, and so that's acceptable, I think you'd say. But it's sad that he did die during the game. But there again, it is Siegfried Line. It's a difficult battle, simply because of the way you have to play on this game. When it came to kills, Sly didn't get the top here. The Object 705A got 3 kills. Sly managed to get 2, which put him in a long list of people. The T110E3, the Mouse, the Future 4, and the CS59 on his own team. And only 2 members of the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. And that was the IS-4 and the E50. And Sly hit both of those guys. When it came to base XP, he's right at the top with 1,268, mostly because he was tier 9, this is a tier 10 game, so he was getting extra XP for all the high tier opponents that he was taking out. And the second highest was the Object 705A with 990, and the third highest was the Future 4, got 974 out of that game. Sly fired 24 rounds in this game, 19 direct hits and 15 penetrations, damage of 6,069 hit points, of which 2,622 were at long range. So you can see it does pay to actually play this tank at long range, because weak on armor, but it's very accurate, which means you can do lots of damage and the enemy can't see where you are. They can't respond, and even if they do see where you are, you can pull back and use your 8 degrees gun depression to harass them in the meanwhile. He received 2 hits from the enemy, 1 penetration, 1 non-penetration, and 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. 320 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed. He easily qualified for the Confederate. 222 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 50,934 credits from the game, 22,920 from battle payments, a total of 106,961 credits altogether. But yeah, he did play a lot of premium ammo, but as I said during the game, if you want to get your 3rd mark, the easiest thing you do is make sure that every shot counts on the enemy, and the only way you can do that is to ensure that you fire premium ammo at everyone, so every shot counts, every shot does some damage, and that way you do get your 3rd mark. It's the quickest and the easiest way to get to the 3rd mark, and that's why if he's doing this, he's actually playing game after game after game with lots of premium ammo, he's bound to get enough damage over a short enough or long enough period of time to actually get those marks. He actually ended up with a loss of 31,341 credits, but even so, he still has got his 3rd mark, which won't be taken away now, and now all he needs to do is switch it back to standard ammo and do damage from a distance, and still have all of the skill that he has acquired whilst he's been playing this tank. 1,268 XP, 285 for playing in a platoon. He took away 2,187 experience points altogether. So congratulations should go to Sly for 3 very good battles, almost in a row. Not quite. I think there was a few battles gaps in between where things didn't go quite right, but certainly these battles went right, and of course he's got that 3rd mark now, so that's it. He's he can go for 100% if he wants, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to prove it to anyone. He's got his 3rd mark of excellence. I hope you enjoyed those battles. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, please do let other people know that we've got more than one channel. We've got a channel called The General, where there's no commentary, but there are some absolutely fantastic games. And I try to record them using a Virgin client, which means that you don't get any distractions. There's no mods or anything like that. It's just a pure, really good battle, pulls medals and collar ban-offs, that sort of things. And definitely worth watching, because it's incredible to see what some of these players do. Thanks for watching.